what would you want your Secret Service code name to be?
Secretariat.
Ever ready. It's very high energy, Donald.
Mr. Trump?
Humble.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, a lighter moment during the debate, although I'm not sure how light the Secretariat was on the part of Carly Fiorina. Joining us now on the Malzberg panel to discuss yesterday's debates, Jane Velez-Mitchell, founder of Jane Unchained and also JaneUnchained.com, and author of the bestseller Exposed, The Secret Life of Jodi Arias, although so many people have read the book, it's not a secret life anymore. Tom Borelli, a contributor at Conservative Review. Check out conservativereview.com. All right, let's start with, why don't we start with Carly Fiorina and the good that she did herself. Jane, talk about your impressions of her performance.
She did great. She's the big winner. She body slammed Donald Trump. Her comment about the women of America heard you loud and clear really, I think, was sort of the pinprick that is going to cause Donald Trump to deflate like a sack of hot air. He was the big loser last night. He spoke for more than anybody else and said the least. What's his policy? Oh, I'm going to get along with Putin. I mean, it was beyond sophomoric. It was childish. I think it's the beginning of the end for Donald Trump, and Carly Fiorina poses a real threat.
All right, well, Tom, the problem with that is, and we're going to have our results from our Newsmax poll at the end of this segment, so folks stay tuned for that. But in the Drudge poll, for instance, Trump won with over 50%, and Carly was second with about 22%. So I don't think anything Trump can say or do is going to take Trump supporters away from Donald Trump.
Steve, you're absolutely right. Not at this point, despite Jane's testing of Donald Trump. He's there and he's in the lead. I do think, however, that Carly...
He's in your head.
Yeah, exactly. Did very, very well last night. You know, she's a no-nonsense CEO, a great communicator. She was able to show passion on Planned Parenthood, a really good grasp of national defense issue, a good plan for Iran. So I think she really distinguished herself from the pack, and that was the goal last night. How can you distinguish yourself from the pack? I think she did a really good job with that. I think Senator Ted Cruz did as well.
I have to tell you, I think that Jeb Bush is in big trouble. Oh, his biggest night, his biggest moment is, oh, my brother kept the country safe. Hello, 9/11 happened on your brother's watch. There are many, many reports of CIA warnings that 9/11 was imminent that were ignored. How dare you insult the American people's intelligence and say, oh, my brother kept this country safe.
He did keep the country safe. He kept the country safe going forward. Right. He was in office just about 9 months. It was Bill Clinton who turned down. No, he was in office 9 months.
Read the CIA reports leading up to 9/11 in the
summer of 2001. What was in Sandy Berger's socks? That's what I want to know.
What
was in Sandy Berger's socks when he was taking documents out of the National Archives?
I'd like to know. So Jane, what would you have had George W. Bush do? Close down the airlines?
How about arrest the people who are taking flying lessons, learning how to take off, but don't want to know how to land?
That's the failure of the bureaucracy. That's the failure of the bureaucracy that affects both administrations. We have a government that's gone wild. Nobody can control the bureaucracy. That's why the government needs to be cut.
Well,
look at the Defense Department now.
Look, Bill Clinton turned down, by his own words, Osama bin Laden because they didn't have an indictment on him. So they were ready to hand him over to us, and he said no. So you want to go back that far? There was the Bojingo plot under Bill Clinton in the 90s where they planned to blow up airliners. Bill Clinton did nothing for all those years. So I don't want to debate that.
Bill Clinton was busy. He had another agenda going on.
Well, that's
very busy.
All right. So what about Ben Carson, Tom?
Well, I think Ben Carson was Ben Carson. I mean, he's a scientist, he's a doctor. He's going to think before he acts. He displayed that when he talked about what he would have done after 9/11. I mean, he's a really good man, a physician, but he's going to think. I don't think he hurt himself. I don't necessarily think he advanced the ball at all.
I think he took some propofol before the debate, and that was his big problem because it was a snooze fest, and he also was very, very light on substance. I mean, both Donald Trump and the doctor, light on substance, no policy whatsoever. Carly Fiorina, she knows about Baltic states, the Sixth Fleet, all sorts of details that these other guys know nothing about.
Carson was for his version of the flat tax. That was substance.
Well, I think that Donald Trump did what he had to do. He lost no ground and he gained maybe no ground. Carly Fiorina gained a lot of ground. I think that Ben Carson, he's low-key. He's always been low-key, yet he surged in the polls, and we'll see where he is when the new, scientific polls come out. So, in the next segment, I want to turn our attention to this notion that only women, and I'm sure, Jane, you'll agree with this, although it's a fallacy, that only women, it's a double standard. They get attacked on their looks. Am I wrong? Do they make jokes about Chris Christie all the time for being fat? Do they make jokes about Donald Trump's hair?
Look, obesity is a disease that has been confirmed.
So they make fun of his disease?
Everything's a
but
disease.
they're pointing out a disease. Somebody wants to lead the nation who has a preventable disease because he can't control his food consumption. That is a legitimate issue.
No,
this is a man who vetoed the pig gestation crate bill. He was bragging about, yes, pigs are kept in crates the size of their bodies, never able to turn around.
I don't care. I don't eat pigs.
You don't care?
No, I really don't care. Pigs are made to be slaughtered and eaten or whatever, and to roll around in dirt, just like all the food we all eat, meat and chicken.
I don't
and
eat
fish,
meat. I don't eat chicken. Look, I'm right here.
All meant to be slaughtered, so we could eat them for our consumption and our enjoyment.
On the planet.
All
and let's
protein
destroy
all the time.
the environment. Let's just put it all. Let's put a match and set the whole thing on fire.
All right, I'd love to continue this. Believe me, I would, but we can't. We're coming back with part 2. But first, you're going to like this. Don't go away. Who won the CNN GOP debate? According to the Newsmax.com poll, Donald Trump was the winner with 48%, followed by Carly Fiorina at 21%, and Senator Marco Rubio and Dr. Ben Carson were tied at 9%. It's not too late to have your voice heard. Just go to NewsmaxPoll.com and cast your vote for who won the GOP debate last night. That's NewsmaxPoll.com.
I dare Hillary Clinton, Barack Obama to watch these tapes. Watch a fully formed fetus on the table, its heart beating, its legs kicking, while someone says we have to keep it alive to harvest its brain. This is about the character of our nation. And if we will not stand up and force President Obama to veto this bill, shame on us.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we continue with the Malzberg panel, Jane Velez-Mitchell and Tom Borelli. And Jane, I know you have an affinity for the well-being of pigs, but I'm sure Planned Parenthood and what they've done to these little babies and fetuses doesn't bother you one bit, does it?
Now, let me say this. The abortions they're talking about are abortions that would have occurred anyway. It is against the law to kill a fetus to extract tissue. These women had the abortions anyway, and those fetal tissue samples were taken and used for research that is life-saving for Parkinson's and for all sorts of other diseases. So let's put it in context. This was a hit job conducted by 2 paid actors who went in there and did a hidden camera video. Admittedly, Planned Parenthood was stupid to not vet anybody that they have a conversation with.
Carly Fiorina did a great job in discussing this issue in its graphic horrorness. And let's remind ourselves also that Senator Ted Cruz reminded everybody that this is a felony. You cannot adjust an abortion procedure to extract tissue. I hope we get a Republican administration, and I hope the DOJ is all over Planned Parenthood and put some of these people in jail where they belong.
There's really something wrong with the society where we care more about a lion that's shot in Zimbabwe than about these little dead babies. It's not a contest. We can care about both. Nobody's in favor of late-term abortions. It is a contest.
These are all legal abortions.
No, they're not. Not the way they're done. They altered the procedure to harvest the parts, which is illegal.
If someone breaks the law, throw them in jail.
Yes.
Good.
And you know what? So that would mean Lois Lerner. That would mean Hillary Clinton. That would mean Eric Holder in contempt of Congress. Doesn't happen under this administration because this administration picks and chooses the laws it wants to enforce and then throws a woman in jail in Kentucky for doing the same thing. Let's move on to what Hillary was doing last night on Jimmy Fallon's show. To me, this is pretty pathetic. Here it is.
Hello? Who's this?
Congratulations, you're speaking to Donald Trump.
Oh, hello, Donald.
How are you, Hillary? I haven't seen you since my last wedding.
Well, I'm sure I'll see you at the next.
See you at the next one. Now, here's a woman who has what many would consider, not being generous here, to be a less than ideal marriage. A woman who facilitated the, and I'm being generous here, to the dalliances, and many would say much more serious things, that her husband committed against women and with women, and put her daughter, some would say, through all that when she was a young girl. And some would say that, many people say that they live apart, they have no relationship really to speak of, and she's mocking Donald Trump, who's now been married to this woman for 10 years and has a baby with him. Then she went on to joke about the emails. Oh, it was about gefilte fish. I mean, that's why people don't trust her, Jane. That's why the first words that come to mind when they talk about her are dishonest and liar.
Of the United States.
Dishonest
Let me
and
tell
liar.
You, she was the big winner in last night's debate, right along with Carly Fiorina, because those people on that stage may have been scoring points with their base, but when it comes to the general election, Americans are not anti-gay, anti-immigrant, anti-healthcare, anti-choice, anti. The only thing these folks are for is boots on the ground.
Pro-life, pro-defense? How about that for a start? Look, Hillary Clinton's campaign is a disaster. Her poll shows it's plummeting. It can't fall any faster. She was their establishment's pick, going nowhere. And notice they even haven't had a debate yet. She goes on, kind of funny TV to try to distract everybody. She's not funny, and the phone call shouldn't have been from Trump. It should have been from the FBI. We're coming to get you.
Let me tell you something. You want to talk about bad jokes? Donald Trump. I agreed with one of the candidates who said he's from the Cartoon Network. Do we really want somebody whose idea of negotiating is just calling people stupid, fat, ugly, or, oh, well, if you're a woman and you're lucky, you might be called beautiful by Donald Trump if he's put in a corner? I mean, come on, this guy is a joke.
Well, I'd like to see the debate that Hillary wants with Donald Trump on women's issues, and I think they should all read Roger Stone's book that's coming out in October. And the truth about Hillary Clinton and what she's done to women, as opposed to for women, will be there for everyone to see and to read, and for Donald Trump to see and to read. And I say bring that debate on. Don't wait for a general election. Let's have it today, and let's have it on pay-per-view, and let the money go to battered women. How's that, Jane? Would you like that?
Today? Yeah, why not? Because I think Hillary would definitely beat Trump.
All right. What about it, Tom?
No, I like that. I like a contest like that.
All right.
I'd pay for that.
There you go. That's the whole point, and women would benefit.
All right.
All right. Anyway, maybe Donald should just offer $5 million of his own money like he did to Obama for the college records, which never showed up. Thank you, guys. Tom DeLay's next. Don't go away.